Hey everyone, thank you for checking out this video. I got a quick couple of questions for you all. First question being, how many of you liked the way Samurai Jack ended? Okay, cool. How many of you thought it could have been different and it still could have been either just as good or even better? So, this is to clarify my stances on the ending of Samurai Jack. This is a video I've been meaning to get to for quite some time now, but I kept having distractions come in the way. So, before more distractions got in the way, I decided, you know what? This concept is on my mind. Time to make it happen now before even more distractions happen and then I lose more time. So, here's the thing about the Samurai Jack ending. Just on its own merits, it's a good ending. You know, it's got emotion, it has passion to it. The story is completed. Samurai Jack, gets what he desired for in the beginning, to go back in time to defeat Aku. However, was that really the best way for Samurai Jack as a character to do things? I'm gonna have to say no, it wasn't. My main thing with um, the ending is, yeah, sure, he goes back to the past. Yeah, sure, he originally gets what he wants when he first starts out his quest. But is that really what he should have done? I don't think that's the best thing that could have happened. Because here's the thing, here's the reason why. Did he learn anything? Did he learn anything? Like did he learn anything by going back to the past? And I don't think he really does. Now maybe some people do believe he really learned important, valuable lessons, or that we as the audience learned very important and valuable lessons. Uh, if you if you believe you know what those are, please comment those below because I tried giving that some thought for a short amount of time, just thinking about uh, what was it, what could Samurai Jack have learned about going back in the past. And maybe there are some things, he does learn or that we as the audience learn through him, lessons and morals. And I'm sure there are. That being said, though, I feel like it would have been a stronger impact if Samurai Jack he was like, you know what, forget about this. I have changed my mind. I'm going to stay in the present. I am not going to go to the past because he learns by staying in the present, he learns to move on with his life. Jack this whole time in all the seasons, especially the last season, is very occupied with the past. He's very occupied with a different time period. And he wants to be able to go back in time and relive it and experience that again. And that's something all human beings, I believe, can sympathize with. I think we all have our moments where we wish we can go back in time and relive some things or do things differently. But obviously, none of us can do what Samurai Jack did and go to the past. So, by Jack going back to the past, does he really learn to accept new truths or realities, or accept his life situation in that moment? I'm not really sure he does by going back to the past. I'm not really sure what the significance of going back to the past is because, like I said, we don't have the ability to go back to the past. We have to try and cope with the present, to try to make the best of it. That's why I think was missed about the season finale with Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack could have had an epiphany. He could have had a revelation, like like, oh my god, all this time I've been so obsessed with going back to the past that I didn't think about maybe just staying in the present to defeat Aku in the present. I've read some things saying that Aku's too powerful. I mean, I'm sure you could have found a way to defeat Aku in the present. They kind of did a little Deus Ex Machina, I believe, in order to make Ashi have literally all of Aku's powers, including time travel. I'm sure you could have found a way to defeat Aku in the present, especially since he had all those freaking allies in the present. He built all those relationships with all those different groups of people, and they all came to help him. You know, that's an important lesson there. That the lesson being, if you help other people, then they will help you in your endeavors or your quests in life. Samurai Jack helped all these people, and they remembered that. They were grateful for that. And in return, when he was in trouble, they paid the favor back by helping him. I think it would have been really interesting if Samurai Jack actually accepted the present and rejected the past. He realized, like, you know what? There is no going back. All the time portals are destroyed. Aku is killed. Ashi doesn't have, time travel powers. I'm just going to make the best of this life that I have. I wish I could have. I wish sure. I'm sure sometimes there's there's the what if moments, but we all have those what if moments too. But we can't just go back to the past to change things or relive those what if moments. We have to learn to move forward, to accept things. I think that's why it would have made a much more bigger impact on Samurai Jack's character and on the show if he couldn't go back to the past. He had to save himself. He had to overcome his PTSD of his past. Of his insecurities of not being able to go back to the past. Yeah, I just think it would have been a much stronger ending. Plus, Ashi, as a nice add-on, would not have disappeared. But I don't want to make this too much about that character. Like I said, the Samurai Jack is the main focus here. And yeah, I gotta say, I don't entirely agree with the way it was done. Yeah, and like I said earlier, I understand. The whole point of the show, the whole point of Jack's motivations were to get back to the past. But that doesn't mean his motivations can't change. That doesn't mean his desires can't change. Maybe he could have eventually learned to appreciate the life he had fully in the present, and instead of being obsessed with the past, uh, learn to live with the present. I think that would have, like I said, I think that would have made a much stronger season finale, because I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself here, because the thing about going back to the past is, sure, he defeats Aku in the past. Sure, sure, he copes with Ashi's loss in the past. He learns to just. I'm not really sure what he's there with the tree and stuff like that. See, that's the thing I'm kind of confused about. Like, maybe I should watch the episode again, because he he does learn to cope with Ashi's loss. He does learn to look forward to a brighter future through the past. But I don't know. I just don't. It's just the fact that he went back to the past in the first place. The fact that he was able to through a possible Deus Ex Machina. It would have been a much more impactful lesson if Samurai Jack was not able to go back to the past. Like I said, you could defeat Aku in the present, and by defeating Aku in the present, you can't go back to the past. But you liberated all those people that you saved previously, and then you're united with those different groups that you saved, and you look forward to building a better future after you defeated Aku in the present. Doesn't it? I mean, and then you learn to move on. You learn to accept this new reality. Look, these tragedies happened to me when I was a little kid. Unfortunately, they did. He didn't have much of a. Samurai Jack did not have much of a choice. So Aku attacked him and his family when he was a little kid, and he didn't have much of a chance to really experience things before Aku, what little he could experience. You know, Samurai Jack had such a huge desire to go back to the past that it seems like he forgot his allies or his friends in the present to some extent. Maybe I'm not sure. Basically, yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Is I believe that Samurai Jack would have finished more strongly if he couldn't go back to the past and he had to accept staying in the present. That's why I think there was a missed opportunity with Samurai Jack. But like I said though, the season finale was good on its own. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy it. I just think there was more potential that was missed. But that being said, it was a good season finale. Thank you very much for sitting all the way through this video or listening to it. You could have listened to it if you wanted to. Check out my other videos. Check out my other studio YouTube channel, Twilight City Studios. I'm curious to see what people have to say about this. Please be respectful in the comments. If you have any criticisms, be constructive about it. There is no need to get angry and insulting at one another. Thank you.